A lot of homeowners make themselves a target, I believe, in terms of robbery and so forth by exposing too much personal information on the social media sites.
Absolutely.
Obviously. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we've actually had some issues with people. They like to tell their life stories on these media sites, and we know there's several of them out there. There's one that's very huge where you can actually access it by your phone. You check in at different places when you go away. You let everybody know you're going on vacation out of the country for how long. And it may not be your friend that is the criminal, but it could be a friend of a friend of a friend who can see that information, and they know that you're not home, and that's not good because they know that it'd be an easy way to target that. Also, I've seen on these media sites people buy high-price items like a brand new 55-inch LCD TV, and they're putting it on the media site showing everybody what they got. So you just want to make it so that it's not so easy for people to know what's inside your house.
So in essence, they're really inviting people into their home.
Well, in the way they are. I mean, nobody has a right to go into anybody's home, but like I said, you are showing people pretty much what you have there. You're letting people know you're not home, so it's an easy way for them to get in there.
How do we keep children safe in homes when, we don't know, parents aren't home and so forth?
Well, the first thing is I don't think anyone should leave a child home until they're really comfortable that they can be home alone. A parent needs to make sure that their child knows the 911, what that's used for. They also need to set up some rules and be comfortable with, all right, I'm going to leave you home. I'm just going to the supermarket to pick up a few things. If the doorbell rings, I don't want you to look. Check with the neighbor right across the street. See if they're going to be home. If you're comfortable with that, have them call the neighbor right across the street. Maybe they can come over and see who it is. If the phone rings and the child doesn't recognize the number, do you want them to answer it? In my house, if the child doesn't know who is calling, they won't answer the phone. That's a good thing to have caller ID for. And it's all, just make sure that your children, you're comfortable with your children being home if you're going to leave them home alone, because those are our most precious assets besides the home is your children. So just make sure that your child is actually capable enough to make the decisions if you do leave them home.
If a homeowner should see a suspicious person in the neighborhood, what should they do?
First and foremost is contact the police department. If you see something suspicious, that's an emergency. That's a 911 call. As far as you see somebody going in your neighbor's yard, and then all of a sudden you see them knocking on the front door, then they go around to the back door, call 911 right away. If you're not sure and you just see somebody walking in the neighborhood that just doesn't look right, still call us. Now we don't consider that an emergency, but you could call the business line, and you guys could publish a business line on the show if you'd like. But call the business line. One thing that we see after we go to a house break is a neighbor. We'll interview neighbors. We'll knock on neighbors' doors, see if they heard or see anything. They'll say, oh yeah, I saw suspicious people in the driveway, but I thought they were just contractors. Or I heard glass break, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So if these people would have called, then we would have been able to go over there and try to catch them in the act. There was actually a house break today on East Street where a neighbor saw kids in that yard and saw next thing you know, the kids are not there, and there was 3 arrests made of 3 suspects inside a house. So we really want you to call if you think something's suspicious. If something doesn't feel right, let us decide whether or not it's not right. Call us. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve the citizens.
How about the Neighborhood Crime Watch?
There's several neighborhood crime watches throughout the city, and if you have one in your area and you're not part of it, each crime watch area has an actual commander or captain, they call them, and you could join through them. And if you want to establish one in your community, you could actually volunteer to be the captain. You could actually get a hold of me at the police station, and I could help you set that up. But those do work. It's all about taking care of each other.
That's awesome. I think that's a real important thing for neighborhoods to watch over each other. That I think that should be established in every neighborhood, but that's great. If a homeowner is going on vacation, what steps should they take, to prevent against unnecessary people in their homes?
What they should do is prepare their home for vacation. So that means I would pull the shades down on the first floor so no one can just see in at night if they're sneaking around. Set some lights up on timers. If you can, set a TV up on a timer. I know the newer ones you can't do that, but an older one you can do. We have actually forms at the police station. You can actually download it off the website, the city website, go to the police department link, and it's called a property check form. You can download that, fill it out, drop it off at the police station, and during roll call, they let the officer know that's assigned to that area that you're not home, and they will make extra checks of the house. They'll drive by, make sure. On that list, it says if there's any vehicles that should be in the driveway, if anyone should be visiting, like you have somebody feeding pets for you. So it's a pretty detailed form. But what I would also do is also let a trusted neighbor know that you're gone. And if they see anything suspicious, to definitely call us. So there's a lot of things you can do, but set the alarm when you go. But the key thing is the property check form. Let a trusted neighbor know, and hopefully things will go well when you get home.
Wow, the property check form, that's awesome. I didn't realize that they had that. That's really, you really have a good sense of security. I mean, it's nice to have the alarms, but to know that the police know that you're out of town and they'll go drive by.
And they and you'll leave your contact information, where you're going, and a cell phone number just in case of an emergency, we need to reach you. And you also, if you're out of the country, you can leave another family member's information so we can call them. So, and another thing that I'd like to add is, just because you're talking about your house, but we consider anything within your yardage, your curtilage. A lot of people with their driveways, they pull into their driveway, they think that just because they're in their driveway that everything's going to be safe in their vehicles. My recommendation, if you have a garage, try to park in your garage. If not, definitely lock your vehicle up and do not have any valuables in plain sight. You really should take everything out of the vehicle, because in today's economy, people are looking for an easy target. So if you leave your GPS in the windshield, you may wake up to a broken window and your GPS missing. It's a shame, but that's the world we live in today.
Unfortunately, like you said, it's reality.
Yes.
So we have to be real vigilant on things like that.
Yes. What we like to call it is you're lessening your chance. What's called target hardening, and I teach that to a lot of the elderly complexes too. Is the less easy you make yourself to be a target, the less likely you're going to be a victim of a crime. So that's what we try to preach.
Wow. Anything else you'd like to add for?
Well,
safety?
It's just that I feel in society today that neighbors do not get to know each other the way that they used to. I know that when I grew up, we were outside in the neighborhood all day, and today it seems like that everybody wants to keep to themselves. So I think I challenge people to get out there and get to know their neighbors and see who you can trust and who you can't trust, and then from there, that way you feel comfortable in the neighborhood when your children are out playing. When, if you have people over. Another thing, too, I'd like to add real quick is if you have a lot of teenagers coming over the house, just make sure that, sometimes your daughter's or your son's friend are okay, but they may have one or two other kids that you don't know come over the house with them. We've actually had stuff wind up missing out of houses like that. And what I would recommend is that you make sure that you know who's coming into your house. You got to protect yourself from that. One other thing that I'll add real quick is safes. Try to lock all your jewelry up in the safes, and then with larger priced items, write down the serial numbers, take video or photographs of them, not only to help us recover them if by chance you do become a victim, but also in case for the insurance company.
I'd like to thank you, Sergeant Gunter, for joining us today. Your
You're
expertise is really will help the community in keeping us all safe. So I want to thank you for that. I'd like to thank the fire department as well as the police department for giving us their expertise in educating us on fire prevention and police safety. I'd also like to thank the cable television station here for giving us this opportunity to educate the community on topics that will continue on in the future. Most of the information that was here today will be able to be viewed on different websites. It's at the end of the show, but you can also go to my website, which is www.conniedotorealtygroup.com. Also, if you'd like to, for questions, you can call. The number's 978-683-0004 for comments. And we'd appreciate it if people would give us topics that you would like to hear in the upcoming shows. And you can come stop by and visit us, have a cup of coffee. The address is 119 Pleasant Street in Methuen. Again, I look forward to hearing from the community, and you tell me what you'd like to hear on the show. Again, thank you for viewing us today, and we'll see you next month.
This program is brought
Thank
to you
you.
by Connie Doto of Connie Doto Realty Group, 119 Pleasant Street, Methuen. When you want results, don't make a move without us. This program is brought to you by Connie Doto of Connie Doto Realty Group, 119 Pleasant Street, Methuen. When you want results, don't make a move without us.